Hello, this is Lacquerography, and this is my wish list for October 2025's Hella Handmade Creations. I've already gone ahead and made a preliminary first impressions wish list, and there's actually 20 items right now that are catching my eye. This one is a little bit of a bigger month because not only do we have the regular October releases this month for Hella Handmade Creations, but we also have the specialty releases for winter holidays. So some makers are offering more than one item this month. So let's dive right in and take a look at the 20 items that are catching my eye. The first item up is by All Mixed Up Lacquers, and this one is called Stab, Strangle, Scoop, Throw. This one is a capped pre-order polish with only 300 of these being made available this month. Looking down through the description, it does say 300 caps, so what that means is that this maker, All Mixed Up Lacquers, is committing to creating 300 bottles of these polishes before it's considered sold out. All Mixed Up Lacquers continues their Granny Hobbies series with a polish inspired by crocheting. Stab, Strangle, Scoop, Throw has a darkened vampy purple base with green, blue, pink shifting shimmer and scattered colorful shimmers. Now, Granny Hobbies, that is me to a T. I love all kinds of granny hobbies, and actually one of my very favorites is to sit and knit and watch Murder, She Wrote. That's one of my favorite things when I have a little bit of downtime. I guess anytime I have about an hour of time on my hands, that's one of my favorite ways to just spend a relaxing hour. So this one is in honor of crocheting, and actually before I became a knitter, the very first sweater I ever made was a crochet sweater back when I was 18. I kind of learned through my grandmothers how to knit and how to crochet. Once that initial phase of learning through my grandmothers had happened, I was very much self-taught the rest of the way, learning through magazines and books. I have to credit Vogue Knitting for really turning me into the knitter that I am today. And also along with that, it was one of their specials called Vogue Crochet that was released in the 90s that made me fall in love with crocheting as well. So I love this polish for all that it stands for, the granny hobbies, the fact that it's inspired by crocheting here. But now let's talk about this color. It's just this really great, cool, vampy looking deep purple. It's really drawing me in. And then the cool leaning shimmer going along with it, this green, blue, pink shimmer. My eyes picking up more of the blue lean to it. I just think that this is a great look. It's got a bit of an edge to it. I know that I would love to wear a polish like this one throughout the fall and the winter. I'm also attracted to purples like this in spring and summer though as well. Deep purples do tend to be a color that I see in nature throughout the spring and summer in my part of the world as well, with crocuses and tulips and lilacs. And just anyway, this color really is speaking to me, and we're off to a really great start this month. This deep shimmery purple is by All Mixed Up Lacquers, Stab, Strangle, Scoop, Throw. This next item up is by Bee's Knees Lacquer, and this one is called The Jaws of Oblivion. This one is another capped offering, and looking down in the description here, it says that this one has a 500 cap. So in this case, Bee's Knees Lacquer is committing to creating 500 of these polishes before it's considered sold out. Bee's Knees Lacquer continues their Oblivion series. The Jaws of Oblivion is a blackened blue polish with fiery red to green microflakes and hollow flakes. Now, I don't really have any context at all for Oblivion, but I absolutely love the look of this polish. This one I would have to say is a top pick of mine this month. I am loving the fact that this one looks like either burning embers with those fiery red to green microflakes happening in here, or a little bit like fall leaves. I'm really loving the look of this one. Those hollow flakes along with it would give that extra little glint and shine. I think that this one would play and shift so beautifully in the light. I actually love here in this swatch photo where you can see a little bit of that green shift from the microflakes in the bottle shot here. On the other swatcher's nails, you didn't so much see that shift into green, but here on the nails I'm not seeing it, but I am in the bottle shot. I think that this polish has quite a bit going on in it, but I'm here for all of it. I'm really loving this overall look. And the fact that this one is a black and blue as well, It makes me think of a pair of deep, dark denim, kind of like an overdyed navy denim. I really can't say enough about this offering. This one is by Bee's Knees Lacquer, The Jaws of Oblivion. This next one up is by Cleona Cosmetics, and this one is called Glass Squid. Looking down through the description for this one, it says that there is no cap for this one. So in this case, the maker, Cleona Cosmetics, can create as many of these polishes as are required to fulfill all orders. Next in Cleona's Creepy and Cute Aquatic Creatures series was inspired by the elusive glass squid. With glass-like bodies, these creatures use their transparency and bioluminescent capabilities to their advantage to help evade predators, as the ocean offers few places to hide. Glass squid is a sheer aquatic cerulean shimmer with reflective red microglitter and notes of silver sparkle. It says that it can be worn sheer for a translucent watery effect or built to opacity. I really love how in this swatch collage that we're seeing here, you can see some of the variation in the way that the swatchers have built this up to just remain a little bit sheer or building it up more towards opacity. It looks to my eye that in the upper left, we see a little bit of sheerness still. My guess is that this might be worn here in maybe 2 coats, would be my guess. I'm guessing that in the bottom right of this collage, that this swatcher may have swatched this one perhaps in about 3 coats. It just seems like it has a little bit more color saturation as well as opacity. I'm loving the shine that you see for this one. The shimmer itself is really quite spectacular. The fact that this one also has reflective red microglitter in it, this kind of blows my mind. You can see a little bit extra sparkle happening here, but in this swatch here, this one isn't taken with flash photography. I think I am seeing a little bit extra texture and twinkle from the reflective glitter aspect, but you can't really tell here that it's red. I feel that in this swatch photo here, I'm seeing a little bit of evidence of the reflective red microglitter in the edge of the bottle here. Where I'm seeing that extra twinkle in the bottle is along the edge where the C's are in Cleona Cosmetics. So the left side of the bottle, or the way it's turned around in this image, toward the bottom right, near where the C's are. I'm seeing evidence of that reflective red microglitter. Just a really interesting look. I really don't have anything in my collection that has this type of composition. This shimmery blue along with the red microglitter aspect that's reflective. It really is unique to my collection, and I adore Cleona Cosmetics. They are a Canadian brand from not too far away from where I'm located in Ontario, Canada. I try to support them any chance I can get, either directly through their own web shop or through opportunities like Hella Handmade Creations or other collaboration websites. This is a brand I love, and I'm really also loving the look of this unique polish. This shimmery blue is by Cleona Cosmetics, Glass Squid. This next one up is by Cracked Polish, and this one is called Emotional Climate. This one is another capped offering with only 350 being made available this month. Emotional Climate is when the skies turn moody and your nails can match the vibe. Emotional Climate is a smoky gray kissed with silver shimmers, capturing the stormy beauty of shifting Pacific Northwest weather. Part of their ongoing theme, It's Not You, It's the Weather. This shade is equal parts mysterious and cool, perfect for days when the atmosphere sets the tone. This is a polish that I at once kind of love and also want to take off my wish list. I've got a few deeper colors that kind of remind me of this one that I've purchased lately. What I love about this one is its moodiness. I love the sort of gunmetal effect that we're seeing here with that metallic edge that's brought about by the shimmer that's happening here. It's described as having silver shimmer. I really love how it looks so moody. In a way, it reminds me of like rain on pavement. It's got that sparkle, but yet a depth and a murkiness. I really think that this is a gorgeous polish with an edge. The thing that's holding me back a little bit is I think I might have some in my collection that remind me of this a little too much. Maybe not exactly the same. I don't think I have anything quite like this with this type of color. And then these shimmer particles that are really quite silver. I think that's quite unique to my collection. But this type of a deep gray, I feel like I've purchased a few from Bee's Knees Lacquer recently. I think that I have one as well that's in this deep kind of gray coloration from Cracked Polish themselves. So I will have to take a deep dive into my collection to see how this one stacks up with some of the others. I need to make sure that the items that I'm purchasing are truly unique to my collection and I'm not duping myself, especially when I have a wish list that's this enormous. I do love the overall look of this polish though, quite a lot. This deep smoky gray polish with the silver shimmer is by Cracked Polish, Emotional Climate. This next one up is by Cuticula, and this one falls under Hella Handmade Creations Holiday Shop this month. So this one is called You'll Love This. Luckily, there's no availability cap for this polish. Cuticula brings us a polish for the holidays. You'll Love This has a deep jewel tone wine jelly base with shifting red, orange, green, yellow ultra chrome flakes. This one I think is another top pick of mine. I love that this one is holiday without being too overtly holiday. Absolutely, it screams holiday to me. I see the rich ruby red color, that type of jewel tone that I'm drawn to in a huge way over the holiday season. But I love that it's got flashes of many different colors happening in here. The shift happening in these flakes is red, orange, green, yellow in the ultra chrome flakes. So there really is a lot of color variation happening here. This one also reminds me of fall, of changing leaves. It just has a really elegant look to it. Actually, in some angles here, I really see what it's talking about with this wine jelly base. It does have a little bit more of a purpley type lean in this swatch photo here. It's a much cooler type red than what I kind of originally thought in the first swatch collage. I'm also loving how this one's popping on all different skin tones. It really does look like it's flattering to everyone. And Cuticula does this type of formula with the jelly base and these pooling, gorgeous flakies. They do it so well, and I own several in this type of a formula, and every single one impresses. This really rich, decadent-looking red flaky polish is by Cuticula. This is their holiday offering called You'll Love This. This next one up is by Dom Nail Polish, and this one is called Golden. This one is another capped offering with only 200 being made available. That one does sound like quite a small cap for a polish that looks like this one. I will have to keep that in mind when it comes time for me to make my purchase. I may have to consider making my purchase as close as I can to when the shop opens on October 14th, 2025 at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time, which for me is quite late at night on a work night. Otherwise, I might risk this one selling out. Dom Nail Polish continues their K-pop Demon Hunters series. Golden has a grayish brown base with strong gold shimmer. Now this one I think is another top pick of mine this month. I love the look of this gold polish. This is one that I know that I'd adore wearing during the holiday season, but I'd love wearing this one in the fall. To me, it has a nice, bright, shimmery quality to it that resembles sunshine. I think I could really wear a polish like this one anytime I'm looking for a golden pick-me-up, anytime throughout the year. Now, it's terrible. I, at this point, don't exactly have a frame of reference for K-pop Demon Hunters, although I know that my students at school are bonkers for it. The soundtrack is amazing. I tend to have the songs running through my head all the time. I actually don't have Netflix, so I haven't watched it before. But I know that it's something that I'd get a big kick out of, and I really hope that I can manage to see it at some point in the very near future. I love the look of this polish. I think it is elegant and fun and sunny. I really do love this one. I love how here the metallic quality to it is just so beautiful. It's got that golden, but also a little bit of like a bronzy kind of look to it. I think that grayish brown base sort of acts to anchor it a little bit, level it down a little bit. I love the look here too. I find that towards the swatcher's cuticles, I believe this is Hey Mercedes here on YouTube, you do see a little bit of that grayish brown base towards the swatcher's cuticles, a really great look. I know that gold polishes aren't always for everybody, but in the case of this polish here, I find it equally flattering on every swatcher that we're seeing. I think this one's a really special polish, and I would love to add it to my collection. This beautiful gold color polish is by Dom Nail Polish, Golden. This next one on my wish list is by Garden Path Lacquers, and this one is called Possession, Damnation, Rock and Roll. This one is another capped offering with only 300 being made available. Garden Path Lacquers continues their favorite book cover series with a polish inspired by Evil in Me by Brahm, both the hardcover and audiobook version, and it goes on to say the audiobook has an amazing built-in soundtrack. Possession, Damnation, Rock and Roll has a shifty purple-blue bronze multi-chrome base packed with an abundance of gold holographic microglitter. This month is proving to be a huge problem for me because I think this one is another top pick of mine. I am so intrigued by the colors that I'm seeing here. They are dark, they're edgy, but yet they've got this holographic microglitter. In this case, gold holographic microglitter running throughout it. It's got a little bit of flash, it's got an edge to it, it's got a brightness, yet a darkness. I'm seeing so much happening in this polish, and I'm here for all of it. The shifts that we're seeing in a lot of these swatch photos are really quite incredibly dramatic. There's a lot of color variation happening here. In this swatch photo here, I'm seeing purple and blue and kind of a golden bronze. It's a great color combination. Very fall, very beautiful. And I'm so impressed with how much variation there is. And then on top of it, there's this holographic twinkle. I don't know what kind of magic Garden Path Lacquer has in their holographic microglitter components that they use, but it seems so signature and special, and it's flashy, but yet edgy. Like, I really don't have enough to say. You just almost have to get it on your nails to really appreciate the full effect. I own several polishes by this maker that have this type of finish with the holographic microglitter component, and every single one just exceeds expectation no matter what the colorway. This one is a definite must-have on my wish list this month. This beautiful shifty multi-chrome polish with the abundance of holographic microglitter is by Garden Path Lacquers, Possession, Damnation, Rock and Roll. This next one on my wish list is another one by Garden Path Lacquers, but this one is their holiday offering called Cranberry Embers. This one as well has a cap on it with only 500 being made available this month. Garden Path Lacquers brings us a polish for the holidays inspired by warm fires, mulled cider, berries, and evergreen winter trees. Cranberry Embers has a warm red Crelly base and is filled with red-orange shifting Aurora shimmer and a smattering of green holographic microglitter. So here we go with some more of that holographic microglitter, this time with a shifting Aurora shimmer happening and this gorgeous red Crelly base. This one's another top pick of mine. Garden Path Lacquers has quickly become a favorite brand. They are a little bit difficult for me to acquire. Unfortunately, the stockist that I used to have access to here in Canada, Gracie J & Co., seems to have gone on a bit of hiatus. We've had a lot of struggles in Canada with Canada Post and also just Canadian businesses in general. So I hope that eventually Garden Path Lacquers can be made available readily in Canada again, hopefully through Gracie J & Co. But until then, I have to get my fix through collaboration websites like Hella Handmade Creations. This offering is such a unique shade of red. It does have that warm aspect to it. I do see like a fire happening here. It's got that orangey red look and that sparkle that's happening here as well. It's described here as having green holographic microglitter. This one is another one that even though we seem to have the red and the green components happening predominantly, It doesn't scream to me too stereotypically Christmas or anything like that, even though it is a holiday polish. To me, I would be just as happy wearing this one in the fall, in the winter, anytime I'm looking for a color in this shade. It just is sparkly and beautiful. These close-up shots, these macro shots really kind of show off the holographic micro glitter, but really polishes like these by Garden Path Lacquers just have to be enjoyed on your nails in all spectrum of different lighting effects to really appreciate the incredible beauty that each bottle of polish holds. I can't get enough of Garden Path Lacquer's offerings this month. I think they're both spectacular. This red leaning polish with the Aurora Shimmer and the green holographic micro glitter is by Garden Path Lacquers. This is their holiday offering called Cranberry Embers. This next item up is by Handmade Natural Beauty, and this one is their encore offering, and this one is a lotion bar, and this one is called Woodland Whisper. This one, it says, is another capped pre-order offering. Scrolling down through the description, it does say that for this 1 ounce stick of lotion, that there is a cap of only 50 of these being made available. Handmade Natural Beauty is offering another solid lotion bar this month. There is another one as well that they're offering. This one is their encore offering, so it did come out before in a previous shop, and Handmade Natural Beauty has chosen to bring it back. It was a popular offering when it was first released. The fragrance of this one is Woodland Whisper. This fragrance can be described as an earthy blend of oak moss and sandalwood with tonka bean, cedarwood, lemon, and petitgrain. And I hope I'm saying that correctly. Now, a little bit about the lotion bar itself. This is a solid lotion bar. So it says, once you try one of these wonderfully fragrant and moisturizing natural lotion bars, you'll never want to use an ordinary lotion again. Lotion bars are less messy than standard lotion and are made from the highest quality of skin-nourishing natural ingredients. And not only will you have softer skin by using these moisturizing natural lotion bars, but you'll smell great too. The beeswax in the lotion bar helps create a moisture barrier that helps protect your skin, ideal for frequent hand washers. It does also go on to describe more about the ingredients, about the usage, and all that great stuff. Now, for me, I love this on so many different levels. I have never tried this fragrance before. And so part of the reason why I chose this one to add to my wish list is because this was an encore offering. So that tells me that this one, of so many of their offerings that they've had in the past, must have been a fan favorite fragrance. So I'd love to give it a try. Now, I mentioned right off the top of my wish list video that I love doing needlework, in particular knitting and crochet, knitting especially. And having a lotion bar like this one at my disposal, like, it eliminates that sort of sticky factor. It's got a dryness upon application where you don't have to wait for it to seep in or anything like that. I find that it's actually probably the beeswax ingredient that really helps with that. It makes for a nice protective lotion application, but with the beeswax, it's got a drier application rather than a damp or sticky type of lotion application. So I love using a product like this one, throwing it into my knitting bag, throwing it into my purse, and having it on hand all the time, especially when I don't want any sort of a creamy residue on anything that I'm touching. Not only that though, I am also an eczema sufferer. A product like this one with the beeswax, I find at certain times of year, it really does act to give that extra layer of protection. I almost find that sometimes when I do wash my hands frequently at work, I'm an elementary teacher working with young kids, so I do wash my hands on a very frequent basis. I do find that when I apply a product like this one that has an element of beeswax to it, it almost provides a little bit of a moisture barrier, just as it says here. It's not just words, like, it actually works. So I love this product. I have never tried this fragrance, but the fact that this one is an encore offering, it does tell me that this one was a popular offering from the past. This lotion bar with the woodsy scent is by Handmade Natural Beauty, and it is their lotion bar in Woodland Whisper. No, you're not seeing double. This is another item on my wish list from Handmade Natural Beauty. This one is their regular monthly offering. This one is another lotion bar offering, this time in the scent of Jackpot. This one is also a capped pre-order item. There are 100 of these being made available this month. Now, I won't go ahead and read the entire thing, but I will jump ahead to just say that the scent this month is Jackpot. The Las Vegas, Nevada inspired scent can be described as sparkling bubbles of crisp champagne, delightfully blended with tangy grapefruit, champagne grapes, and deep plum. So to me, this would be such a wonderful, like wintry, holiday, New Year's Eve type scent. I think it would have a fresh but fruity fragrance as opposed to the previous one that was more of a woodsy scent. I think that if I had to decide on only one of these items, I might choose this one as my preferred typical scent kind of profile. I tend to like fruity scents. This one has that crispness of champagne as well. I think this one would really appeal. I haven't had as much experience with woodsy scents, although I'd really love to give the other one a try as well. Seeing as though this is a product I know I love and that these are both scents, this one and the previous woodland scent, that I think that I would enjoy as well, I'm very tempted to get both. This is a product that I really do need health-wise to protect me from eczema flare-ups. It helps me when I do needlework as well, and it does help me at work to provide that extra protective barrier. I could see myself potentially getting both of these Handmade Natural Beauty lotion bars this month. This one is by Handmade Natural Beauty. This is their lotion bar in Jackpot. This next item up is by Hula Moon, and this one is called Magic Grits. This is another one with a cap, and this one has a 200 cap. So another one where I may have to consider making my order right when the shop opens October 14th at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time. With this polish, Hula Moon continues their My Cousin Vinny series. Magic Grits is a pearlescent white polish that's loaded with scattered hollow and iridescent flakes, bringing a little courtroom magic to your fingertips. For me, Hula Moon is 2 for 2 in terms of this new My Cousin Vinny series. Last month, they started the series, and that polish was one of my top picks. This one is the same. This one is another top pick of mine this month. I love the opalescent, pearlescent type look of this polish. To me, it has special occasion written all over it. I love how this one I think would work beautifully, layered up for different effects, like in one coat for a light wash with a slight glint, layered in 2 coats or 3 coats to approach more of a full coverage type look. I think this one could be a really special, versatile, special occasion kind of polish in my collection. The fact that this one has hollow, it would play beautifully in all different light. Same thing with the iridescent flake. That component as well would give kind of a haunting shift to this beautiful pearlescent polish. This one is another top pick of mine in this huge wish list. This beautiful pearlescent, almost opalescent looking polish is by Hula Moon Magic Grits. This next polish up is by Lurid Lacquer, and this one is called Heavily Foreshadowed Redemption Arc. This one is another capped pre-order polish with only 500 being made available this month. Lurid Lacquer continues their A Court of Tropes and Clichés series with a polish inspired by spoiler-free, my speculations about the future of an inconsistently characterized villain. Heavily Foreshadowed Redemption Arc has a sheer medium green jelly base with glowy pink to red to orange to gold shimmer. So lots of shimmer happening here, and it's that aspect to it that's really drawing me in. I'm a green lover, so I will have to check how this one compares with some other lighter green, sort of light green jelly-based polishes that I have. But the shimmer for this one looks really special. Pink to red to orange to gold shimmer within this gorgeous base. This one really does look like it has a dramatic shimmer effect. Now this kind of a colorway I know is one that I love. I have KB Shimmer's discontinued Mask Me Again, which is a very glitter-filled, reflective glitter version of this type of a colorway, the green with this warm, wild shimmer happening. But that one is really thick with reflective glitter. I also have one that might match this colorway, being Nailed It's Gloss Boss. That one might also kind of be a dupe for this one, but I'm not exactly sure. So this is another polish where I know I love this one. I know I love the colorway because I own a few that already have this type of a colorway, but I will have to do a significant deep dive into my collection to see how this one truly compares with some of the other ones that I have that lean towards this type of a colorway. A light green jelly base with a glowy pink to red to orange to gold shimmer, that kind of warm shimmer running through it. It is beautiful though, but I can't call it a top pick because I already have some that kind of fit this bill already in my collection. It doesn't take away from the fact that it's beautiful though. This gorgeous green shimmer polish is by Lurid Lacquer, Heavily Foreshadowed Redemption Arc. This next one up is by Lurid Lacquer again, and this one is their holiday offering called All I Want for Christmas is Cassian. This one is another capped offering with only 500 being made available. Lurid Lacquer has created a polish for the holidays to pair with their A Court of Tropes and Cliches series, inspired by their favorite Bat Boy. All I Want for Christmas is Cassian has a warm red base with red to orange Aurora shimmer. Nothing says holidays like a gorgeous red shimmer nail polish, and this one is truly that. Reds are very much a newfound love of mine. I used to avoid them because I was always very hard on my nails and I would chip my nail polish really quite quickly. Being a teacher, also washing dishes, just doing general housework, very often I'd chip my nail polish in just a couple of days, and it used to just drive me crazy, chipped red nail polish in particular. I've always loved the look of red nail polish on other people, but on me, when I was always so hard on my hands, there was nothing I liked less than chipped red nails. It always looked so elegant and sexy and sophisticated on other people, and for whatever reason on me, I just couldn't make it last. But I found some tricks in the last little bit with all kinds of great top coats, sometimes doubling up on top coats, also doing a better job of protecting my manicure, wearing some gloves more often when I do certain chores around the house. So I'm doing a little bit better, and red is now a newfound love of mine, and this one is a beautiful one. The shift here looks really quite beautiful from the Aurora shimmer. It looks like the finish of this polish is just stunningly beautiful. Red perfection, really. Now I do have a growing collection though of red nail polishes, so I'll have to see if this warm red base with that warm coordinating shimmer, the red to orange Aurora shimmer, really is one that I need in my collection. I have the feeling that I have some others that might fit the bill. Right off the top of my head, I wore recently Great Lakes Lacquer's Love at Great Lakes Lacquer. That one may be a little bit similar to this one. I just wore it recently, so it's just at the very front of my mind. And I know I love that polish quite a bit. What I am loving about this one is this does seem to be a red for every skin tone. This is yet another polish that's looking gorgeous on everybody this month. There's quite a few reds on my wish list so far. I've got the one from Cuticula. That one's a flaky. I've got the red from Garden Path Lacquers. That one is a micro glitter polish. And I've got this gorgeous shimmer. I don't necessarily know that I need them all, and I worry about the fact that if I have to cut one, it might have to be this one, because I think this one might align a little bit more closely with some others that I have in my collection, whereas the other two I think are quite different. I'll have to see how it goes though. I have a lot of collection diving to do before the shop opens. That's for sure. This beautiful red is by Lurid Lacquer. This one is their holiday offering called All I Want for Christmas is Cassian. The next one up is by Night Owl Lacquer, and this one is called Thankszilla. Night Owl Lacquer continues their Bob's Burgers series with a polish inspired by Bob and how over the top he gets making Thanksgiving dinner. Thankszilla is a grungy yellow crelly filled with multi-chrome microflakies that shift black to red. There is no availability cap for this one. This is one of those pretty ugly, prugly polishes that is just beautiful to me. I'm loving the ever so slight flame that seems to be coming up from these microflakies. I can really see it at the very top of the photo. Like, it really is catching the light in such an interesting and unique way. And the quality of these microflakies seems to be quite shifty, but also very small, as it said, microflakies. The flakies themselves look quite fine, but that flame, that fire, the shift that's happening there is undeniable. I find it kind of interesting that at some angles here, like in this shot, it just kind of looks like that grungy yellow base with black flakies, but it actually isn't that at all. I love how you get that black to red shift in various lighting angles and effects. I find that this polish is just so quintessentially fall, but also any time of year when you're looking to have something that's completely unique, unexpected, and ugly but beautiful. I'm really enjoying the overall effect of this polish. And I know that when I receive it, I'll want to be wearing it constantly as the fall starts to turn into winter. This really interesting grungy yellow based polish with the microflakies is by Night Owl Lacquer, Thankszilla. This next item up is a duo by Phoenix Indie Polish, and this duo is called I'd Rather Be Dry and But At Least I'm Alive. This one is a capped offering for the duo with only 100 of these sets available. These items are also each available separately, but it is, I think, the overall impact of the duo that's really catching my attention. Phoenix Indie Polish continues their Lady Gaga theme with polishes inspired by the song Rain on Me. I'd Rather Be Dry has a clear base with golden to green aurora shimmer and pink reflective glitter. But At Least I'm Alive has a purple jelly base with red aurora shimmer. Now, firstly, I love this song, so I think right there when I saw this polished duo, I added this to my wish list without even really thinking about it because I love that song. I knew what it was right away, just seeing the names of the polishes in this duo. But then there's the polishes themselves. So starting out by talking about the purple. That purple jelly base with red aurora shimmer is really quite a striking shimmer. Now, I do have to be a little bit careful because I have a lot of shimmer polishes. This one, I mean, if I look deep enough in my polish collection, I think I could probably find something that would be passable as similar for this one. Not really a dupe, but probably similar. Warm shimmers running through a purple base. I know that's something that I have a little bit of in my collection somewhere. It would just be a case of really diving deep to find it. But Phoenix Indie Polish always has this quality that's a little bit different. They are a Brazilian maker. I don't know, there is something about the quality of the components that a lot of these Brazilian makers use that just gives this like oomph to the overall quality of the polish. That being said though, these do come in 11 milliliter bottles, which is normal for Brazilian makers as well, but it is a small quantity of polish for a higher price per milliliter cost to me. So budget's another thing I'm gonna have to consider. But I really do love the look of that purple. It's another one that has that great fiery flame running through it. Then we have the other polish, I'd Rather Be Dry, which is a clear base with golden to green aurora shimmer and pink reflective glitter. I find that that's one where you can really see all the different aspects to the polish, depending on the angle, the lighting, all that great stuff. So I find here in these photos, the predominant aspect of that clear-based polish that catches my eye is the golden to green Aurora shimmer. In the bottle though, I'm seeing that pink reflective glitter pick up a little bit. And I'm finding that you can see a little bit of the hint of that texture appearing on the swatcher's nails too. In this photo here, where we've got a swatch collage with different types of lighting effects, I'm finding you really find this clear-based polish just come alive in all its different aspects and components. Different ones tend to be highlighted depending on the different types of lighting effects. This one really does look quite magical. I know I don't have anything at all like this topper polish or the clear-based polish that you could probably use quite easily as a topper. Now I'm assuming here in this image, perhaps in the next one I'll show too, I'm assuming that this one might be the two polishes combined, one over top of the other. Probably I'd rather be dry on top of, but at least I'm alive. Here I would say pretty safely that this one's taken with flash photography. I can really see those pink reflective glitters taking center stage. And here I'm seeing that Aurora shimmer taking over. And I believe that both of those last swatch collages that I showed, I believe that that's showing I'd rather be dry on top of, but at least I'm alive. But just to be sure, I'd rather take a look at some swatching videos just so I can be sure of the different combinations that I'm seeing to really know what I'd be getting. Now I do have to think, like, this one is a duo. Is it really something I'm passionate about enough to add it to my shopping cart? At $27 for this duo, 11 milliliter bottles for each of the components, that is a significant cost for me, being a Canadian, and really for anybody. I'll have to take this one quite seriously and really think whether this is an essential that I feel like I need to add to my collection. It does impress me quite a bit though. This beautiful duo is by Phoenix Indie Polish, and the duo components are called I'd Rather Be Dry and But At Least I'm Alive. This next one up is by Psyche Minerals, and this one is called Clifford. This one is another capped offering with only 275 being made available this month. Psyche Minerals wraps up their children's book series with a polish inspired by Clifford the Big Red Dog. Clifford is an orange-red jelly with orange-red iridescent flakes and red reflective glitter. I've been loving this series by Psyche Minerals over the last several months. Being an elementary teacher, I've taught young kids most of my career. I even started my career in kindergarten. Some of the inspirations that they've created polishes for over the last several months have really taken me back to some of those simpler days at the beginning of my career, especially teaching kindergarten. And this is one of those. I love the fact that this one is an orangey red. You can really see the warmth in this base color. Then we've got the addition of those orange to red iridescent flakes and the red reflective glitter in this one. Now this is a finish that I think Psyche Minerals has just perfected. I find it quite a signature finish of theirs. I own several of their polishes in this type of a finish. They really do this finish unlike anybody else. The sparkle, the shift, really everything about these polishes is just outstanding. But I do own several by Psyche Minerals at this point, and I have been following this series. So I will have to take a close look at my Psyche Minerals collection to see how this one really stacks up among some of the other Psyche Minerals polishes that I've been purchasing over the last couple of years. I love though how this one is another polish that looks like fall in a bottle. It's all those warm colors that you expect with fallen leaves in my part of the world anyway. And I love the way that these iridescent flakes really look like fallen leaves on the nails. I am also a person who loves reflective glitter as a component in nail polishes. The sparkle, the shine, the depth that you get from reflective glitter, it just catches the light unlike any other with a sparkle that you can't really get from any other type of component. So I really love reflective glitter. This is a polish that although I really like it a lot, that it's a finish that I know is a favorite in my collection. I'm very much 50-50 on whether or not I'm going to get this one. I love it, but I might have something that is close enough in my Psyche Minerals collection in order to make this one skippable this month. But I will have to take a deep dive to really know for sure. If this one is an outlier in my Psyche Minerals collection though, it will be added to my cart because I think this color is spectacular. This beautiful, flaky, reflective glitter, orange-red jelly polish is by Psyche Minerals, Clifford. This next polish up is by Sassy Cat's Lacquer, and this one is called Mocha Taro Swirl. This one is another capped offering with only 100 being made available. Sassy Cat's Lacquer continues their All Things Sweet series with a polish inspired by a Mocha Taro latte. Mocha Taro Swirl has a purple-brown leaning base with aqua cyan lime shifting magnetic effect. Now, what's intriguing me a lot about this one is first of all the colorway, but also the fact that this one is a Sassy Cat's Lacquer magnetic polish. At this point, I don't own any magnetic finish polishes from Sassy Cat's Lacquer. And Sassy Cat's Lacquer is a brand where I'm incredibly drawn to base colors with contrasting or coordinating, whatever it might be, shimmer. I find that invariably when I see a Sassy Cat's Lacquer shimmer polish, what I tend to see is something that looks like quintessentially sea glass. No matter what the colorway, it has that sea glass type illusion to it. I don't know what it is, especially that Sassy Cat's does to their shimmers that creates that type of effect, but it seems like every time, no matter whether it's a wildly contrasting color shimmer or a coordinating one where it's very close in color to the color of the base, that's the type of effect that I notice and that I see. And I love that look from Sassy Cat's Lacquer. But this one is a magnetic, and it's got me wondering whether this might have that same type of unique quality. I love the colorway of this one, and really that's what's catching me in terms of potentially giving this polish a try and having it end up in my shopping cart when the shop opens. This purple-brown colored base in my life would be very versatile. I'd wear it in the fall. This cool shimmer makes it rather wintry and icy for me as well. And for me, it's also just a really different type of take on a neutral polish. It's got a little bit of that plummy type quality to it, that purple-brown lean that I think would have me wearing a polish like this one really any time of year. And then that aqua cyan lime shifting magnetic effect. So very much a contrasting type magnetic effect happening here. It really is an interesting effect. It's a great color combination, and I would love to get this one on my nails and try out a Sassy Cat's Lacquer magnetic polish to see if it has that same type of sea glass type look that I'm so drawn to with Sassy Cat's Lacquer, but in a magnetic polish. Yeah, that base color, that purple leaning brown base, it's really an attractive color to me. I can't get enough of that. And right there, this one has me adding it to my wish list. Yeah, I'm going to have to give this one quite a thought. I have the feeling that this one might be another top pick for me in this wish list. This wish list is huge and I can't buy all of them. I'm starting to get a feel for some of the ones that I think I can let go off my wish list. I don't know that this is one of them where I can just let it go. The base color, the shimmer, the fact that this is a magnetic, I really think that I'd love to give this one a try. This beautiful magnetic polish is by Sassy Cat's Lacquer Mocha Taro Swirl. This next one up is another duo. So this one is by Sassy Sauce Polish, and the holiday duo is called Just Elfin' Around and Reindeer Games. This duo is also a capped offering with only 200 being made available. Sassy Sauce Polish brings us a duo for the holidays. Just Elfin' Around is a green jelly with an assortment of sparkling glitters, and Reindeer Games is a red jelly with an assortment of sparkling glitters. Now, unlike the previous duo by Phoenix Indie Polish that I was talking about, this one, the components are not available separately. This is a holiday package duo. In fact, here it is right here. It only comes together. So you have to buy either 2 polishes or none. This one is really growing on me. I saw it at first and didn't think much of it. But then as I started to scan through every single one of these swatch photos, I thought, like, this is so perfect as a Halloween duo. And I really own nothing quite like it. I don't own any jelly bases with this type of coordinating glitter within it. I don't own anything like this. And I keep thinking to myself, like, I don't want to get anything that is just too holiday leaning, something you wouldn't pull at any other time of year, just because for me that is limiting. And I have a rather large polish collection at this point. So having something that is that limiting at this point really doesn't do me a whole lot of favors. But I look at a duo like this one and I just think of the fun that I could have with it. I think that these would be beautiful worn separately. I think that there's a lot of great opportunity for nail art or skittling here, where you wear each polish on different fingers to get that really cheeky holiday effect. I could also, though, see myself wearing this red in the fall, in the winter, also around Valentine's Day, maybe even in the summer. Although I have to say the glitter does add that sort of holiday flair that makes you think just of like Christmas time and that kind of thing. But then I look at the green and I think I would also love wearing a green like this in not just the winter time, but also the spring and the summer. I love greens when the world around me in spring and summer just comes alive after a long gray winter. And I'm just wearing all these different varieties of green. Green's a favorite color of mine, and I think I would wear a polish like this green at many different times of year. I don't know. I've got to think about this one. If I think it's purely holiday in my life, then I probably won't go for it. But if I can see myself wearing it beyond the holiday season, I think this may just end up in my cart because these offerings are beautiful and they are unique to my collection. This beautiful holiday duo is by Sassy Sots Polish. This is their holiday offering within the shop this month. And this duo includes Just Elfin Around and Reindeer Games. The next item up on my wish list is by Victorian Varnish, and this one is their Lavish Hand and Cuticle Cream in the scent of Fall Party. This one is another capped offering with only 60 of these being made available this month. Victorian Varnish brings us their Lavish Hand and Cuticle Cream. The scent description reads as, fragrant blackberries and autumn fruits blend perfectly with southern sweet tea and a touch of cinnamon brown sugar. I am full on entering my season of skincare and moisturizing. I'm already starting to feel in mid-October the effects of the cooler evenings. My skin is getting incredibly dry and I am getting the first signs of seasonal eczema that just seems inevitable for me every single year. But I can mitigate the effects quite a bit by using protective hand and skincare items. I am hoping to stock my drawer of hand and skincare items early on this season so that I've got plenty to use as the cooler weather really sets in. Being a Canadian, my winters can get incredibly harsh, and last year was one of those. This year, the prediction is also that this one is expected to be a harsh winter as well. So I really need to get ahead of the game, and I think that this scent sounds wonderful. Blackberries, autumn fruits, and a touch of cinnamon brown sugar. This sounds like a really nice, fruity, slightly sweet kind of offering. I still haven't tried out this Lavish Hand and Cuticle Cream yet, but I do have one coming in the mail. We currently are experiencing a Canada Post strike, so it'll be a little while still before the strike is resolved until I can receive my initial order of Lavish Hand and Cuticle Cream from last month's Handmade Creations in the mail to try it out. But in the meanwhile, I know that this fragrance for me would be a very safe bet, so I think it will end up in my cart this month. This hand and skincare item is by Victorian Varnish. This is their Lavish Hand and Cuticle Cream in the scent of Fall Party. This final item on my wish list this month is by Zombie Claw, and this one is called Frostbite Flesh. This one is another capped offering with only 100 being made available this month. Zombie Claw continues their zombie theme with a polish inspired by hauntingly cool-toned zombies. Frostbite Flesh has a turquoise base with linear hollow, silver reflective glitter, and purple blue multi-chrome pigment. Zombie Claw is one of those brands in my collection that is woefully underrepresented. I think this is an incredible brand, and I own less than 5 of them in my collection. This color is such an interesting take to me on turquoise. A lot of my turquoise polishes that I have in my collection are more summer leaning. They're a lot more bright and brilliant, and they're tropical looking. And this one is a nice, deep, wintry, edgy take on turquoise. This one has all kinds of components in it that bring interest to a polish like this one. It's got linear hollow, it's got silver reflective glitter, and it also has this purple blue multi-chrome pigment. So you're gonna get that sparkle, those rainbows from the linear hollow. You're gonna get a different variety of sparkle through the silver reflective glitter, my favorite kind of sparkle, in fact. And then there's that purple blue multi-chrome pigment that's gonna add that extra bit of shift. I'd love to see this one in natural lighting, in all kinds of different lighting, in fact. I think this one would be so interesting and quite a chameleon of a turquoise polish. I love how in some of these photos it does appear to be quite a grayed turquoise. In this one it appears a little bit lighter. I really think that with all these components, this would be a shifty, ever-changing polish that looks very different in different kinds of lighting. Also, when you apply different numbers of coats. I do have another blue on my wish list this month with the Clionadh Cosmetics, but this one is really appealing to me as well. There is something hauntingly cool toned about this one. It is a little bit more grayed. To me, it's a beautiful and kind of unusual take on a wintry turquoise. I'm really loving the look of this one. And this one might be a little bit of a dark horse of a top pick in terms of my wish list this month. I'll have to wait and see what happens as I sit with this a little bit longer and do a little more research. But this one keeps sticking with me, and I think I might find this one in my shopping cart. This interesting turquoise with the linear hollow, the multi-chrome pigment, and the reflective glitter is by Zombie Claw, and this one is called Frostbite Flesh. So that's it for my enormous 20-item wish list this month. The Hella Handmade Creations shop is open this month from October 14th, 2025 at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and it closes on October 21st, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Hawaiian Time. This is a larger than usual shop this month with the regular monthly offerings as well as the winter holidays shop this month. There are also some encore offerings. What Hella Handmade Creations does is they go through alphabetically, and usually about 4 or 5 makers moving sequentially through the alphabet are invited to bring back offerings from the past that were usually customer favorites to re-offer as their encore offering. Hella Handmade Creations also offers a limited overstock section. The new releases in the overstock section are from June 2025's Hella Handmade Creations. So if you missed out on anything that you were pining after that month, this is a chance to see if those have come up in overstock. But just as a caution, there are usually very few of each item that come available. Sometimes it's less than 5 items, so they do tend to sell out pretty quickly. So if it is an overstock item that is catching your fancy, you should consider making your purchase right when the shop opens on October the 14th, 2025 at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time to be sure that you don't miss out. So I'm wondering, are you planning on shopping Hella Handmade Creations this month? If you are, which items are attracting your attention? Also, I'd love to know your thoughts on my wish list. This one is an exceptionally large wish list, and part of that is because I've got a healthy mix of the regular monthly items as well as the holiday items that are part of this wish list, not to mention all the hand and skincare items as well. I'd love to know your thoughts on any of the items that I've chosen. I need to cut this wish list down significantly to make this budget friendly, so I'd love to know all your thoughts. Please feel free to add all your comments and we can continue on the conversation long after. If you enjoy wish listing content similar to this, please consider giving this video a like. It signals to me that content like this is of interest to you, and in the months ahead, I'll try my best to produce content similar to this as often as I can. As well, if you enjoy nail-related content in general, please consider subscribing. I release nail-related content as often as I can, and by subscribing, you won't miss out on any of the fun. Thank you so much for joining me this month. Happy shopping. Hopefully I'll see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye.